Okay, so guys, we started this PowerPoint by asking you a question, and that question was, how do I rename columns in a pandas data frame? We said, let's fetch this data frame, which is UFO reports from Bitly, and then we checked the first 5 rows, and after that we said, okay, if you say UFO columns, it's going to show you the column headers. You see, for example, for colors reported and shape reported, we have spaces. In that case, it's not easy to use them for the dot notation format. So to solve the issue, we want to rename the columns. This is how we do it. We say UFO.rename columns equal to colors space reported. This is the key part. The old column header's name is the key, and the new column's name is the value. So that key value is going to change the name of this one and change this one. If you do not say in place equal to true, it just shows you, it doesn't apply to the data frame, right? And if you say in place equal to true, it actually applies. And if you say that UFO.columns, you see that's the result. Okay, everything is fine. Okay, so by saying that, now we want to try another mechanism, another method. Another column renaming method is, imagine that you have a list of column headers names, like, let's call it UFO calls. It could be anything, ABC, whatever. So we have city, color reported. Everything is in small letter. It's like caps lock. And then shape reported, state, and time. And then I said UFO.columns equal to that new name, UFO_calls. If you say, show me the first 5 rows, you see the column headers are already updated. Do you see that? Could you log in, NS? I think that maybe that computer has problem, right? Maybe you need to come to the front. Awesome. Right. Definitely, as long as nobody disturbs your concentration. Okay. Guys, it works. Please give me a signal if it works. Okay. After that, let's try another thing. The question is it possible that whenever you want to download a data frame, you just rename it without, just any further delay, to have it local in your computer, then start renaming? Is it possible to do it simultaneously when you are fetching the data set? The answer is yes. I'm importing the data frame. At the same time, I say, change the name for me to UFO calls. The only thing which was not clearly explained in the documents of this command is header equal to 0. The best is to consider, when we say header is equal to 0, means row number 0 contains the header, the column headers, and I want to change that column header. Does that make sense? Okay. look at this, it says that header equal to 0 means that the first row of the data set, which is indexed by 0, has existing column names, and I replace them with the defined collection. Okay, so please take your time, see how it works, and if it works, give me a signal. Sure. Okay, what I'm gonna do is, let me just do one thing. Just give me a second. So if you go to the course content, to the pandas, slide number 3, all the way to 5. So now you have the slide. Okay, no worries. Okay. So the bonus tip here is, imagine that we have hundreds of columns. It's going to be a cumbersome process if you want to change every single column separately, the way that we did it in a few seconds ago using key values. What we do here is we say u4 columns. Go to u4 columns. We say stir, which is for string, and we say dot replace the space comma underscore. Even if you have 100 columns that they contain spaces, that's gonna fix them all. And if you check that u4 columns, it's gonna show you the updated version of column headers, and there is no space anymore. See that? Okay, by saying that, we already finished slide number 5, and you already have the slides. Please spend a few minutes, work on the slides in PowerPoint number 5. Talk to your neighbors, hopefully about this slide. And then we're gonna take it from there. Just please start working on it. Yes.
During the time break or after the class, I want to ask something about.
Sure. About
the project, not the college project. It's Python, but it's my own project.
okay, sure, definitely.
I want to ask you something.
Sure. Okay, let me just ease the job, guys. For those who kindly came to the class, I'm gonna give you present mark. If you want to do something else, feel free. I'm gonna just give you mark. Let's just keep the class for those who want to practice. Because this is exactly what you are gonna see in assignment number 3. Unless that you want to copy and paste. In that case, you don't need to follow. But if you want to learn that one, please just follow what I said. And I already uploaded PowerPoint number 5. So please open it and talk to your neighbors, work on this. Okay, because you know, I don't know why, for some reason, in other section, send are you in telephone? No? You and Voodoo, I don't know, for some reasons, are the only people that are in separate sections, so that is why. Let me just upload the things. Can you check? Awesome. Okay, the next slide that we are going to start working on is slide number 6. And that is, how do I remove columns from a pandas data frame? Great question. Imagine that we have some data sets that they have hundreds of columns and you do not need all of them for your data analysis and working in machine learning. So how can you filter, or in this case, delete unwanted columns? Slicing, yes. That's the Badut, right? Badur, sorry. And again, correct. One of the solutions that we are going to work now is dropping the columns. Let's, as always, let's pull up a data set. And for this one, we are going to use UFO reports. After checking the shape at the first 5 rows, please check the shape. It should show you 18,105 columns. After you are done with that, please give me a signal, and I'm going to go to the next. Peter, done? Okay, one of the things that I mentioned here, and we are going to see it several times, a table that we have is nothing but a data frame, what we call it data set in other places. And every single column that we have, we call it series. So now we want to delete one. Imagine that we don't need that colors reported column. So we say UFO.drop. We mention the name of the column that we don't want to have anymore. And then we say axis equal to 1. Why we say axis equal to 1? Because it is column. We want to drop a column. And then we say in place equal to true. Please do not use in place equal to true. First, use it without in place equal to true. If you have already done that, not a problem. Just get back to this step. Say UFO equal to read CSV, download it again, and then UFO.head, and then say UFO.drop. Everything all the way to the end of access equal to 1, but not in place equal to true. Can you please tell me what you're going to see without in place equal to true? Yes. The column is deleted, right? Okay. Okay. So after that, please type Josephine. After that, type UFO.head. You see that the column is still there. Okay. What we can understand from this is this one. If you do not say in place equal to true, it's the time that you want to see what would be the result of my action. But I'm not gonna make it happen really. I just show you this is the result of if you say in place equal to true, it's gonna apply. You see that? And if you say in place equal to true, it applies and it suppresses the output. So then you need to show the output. Does that make sense? I quickly repeat. If you do not say in place equal to true, it shows the potential result. If you confirm, if you like the output, if you want that happens, then you say in place equal to true. Okay. What if we want to draw several columns? In that case, we use a list. So we say list of, for instance, city and state. Okay. And now, if you just say, show me the head, it's going to show you. Yes.
What is the axis for? I think if we don't have that, it's going to be
The default is 0.
Okay.
Axis 1 means column because you want to delete columns. We are going to get there. If you say axis equal to 0, guys, always remember that column is 1 and we have 0, right? So 0 for rows.
But can we use column then list? Column equals to list instead of using that?
No, we need to just use it this way. I haven't done. I'm going to get to just show me the command and say is it possible or not, then we are going to discuss. Okay. So look at this one, please. As a bonus for slide number 6, this is something that we want to try. Look at this one. By default, always the index starts from 0. So we want to get rid of these 2 rows. For doing that, we say UFO drop 0 and 1, those 2 rows, and we say axis equal to 0. And then we are going to have, this is the result. We're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Did we answer yes?
Where did we drop the row using a value?
We have to, okay. The thing that shows for every single row is what we call an index, right? we can't say, it's not like index that, like Excel that we say, I just want to take this one out. So what should happen to the rest of the data set?
No, like, let's say I want to delete this row where the value is open.
Oh, you're gonna get that. Exactly. Good questions. Actually, in the previous session, those people, especially those who started working on assignment number 3, they started asking these type of questions. And the good thing is, most of the questions will receive answer today in next few slides. Okay, so by saying that, everybody has, let me just bring slide number 6 here. And the other group. So please spend 2-3 minutes talking to your neighbors, see if everything is understandable. If you have any concern, any question, please let me know. Okay, the good thing is today, after we finish that is acceptable, but after we finish today, we're gonna see if we have more efficient ways or not, okay? And we are gonna dedicate good amount of time today to review and work on the assignments. Okay. One last minute for the review. The good thing about this type of slides that I provided is no matter when you join the class, immediately after we start a new slide, you can just start fresh. If you left behind for any reason, imagine that this is brand new things. The other thing that I want to tell is about your final project. Still, we have quite good amount of time, but I provided a folder to upload your proposal for every single group. Just one submission is enough. The reason for that is we had some groups that they just ended up having 10 lines of codes saying that this is a group project, 5 people. So the risk of losing marks is now on the shoulder of participants. If you do not consult, if you do not come and talk about your project. If you are gonna pick any of the alternatives, the maximum number of people that you can have in the alternatives is 2, because they're quite simple. You just can have 2 people in a group to do them, and the proposal not applicable. I mean, the proposal statement not applicable because you already have the proposal statement. And you can say we mutually take care of everything in the project. Is it clear? Can everybody please check you have that folder? Everything is, and the announcement, please read the announcement for proposal. Done. Okay. So the next PowerPoint is the machine learning process. And how do I sort a pandas data frame or a series? Sometimes you just want to have one column, one data series, and you want to sort them. Sometimes you want to sort the whole data frame based on one or some columns. Imagine that you have a list of students. You have a list of students that has first name, last name, and student ID. So first you decide to sort them based on the first name. If we have two people with the first name, with equal first name, then the second column to rely on would be the last name. And even if the first name and last names are identical, you can just rely on the student ID to sort the data set, right? We want to work on such scenarios. So please fetch this data frame, IMDb ratings, and show the first 5. You've seen, I think, question number 3 of the assignment. It says that show the first 5 elements. Guys, it's not a trick question. Everything is super simple. Question number 3 means name of dataset.head. That's it. So if you're done with that, please give me a signal. We can go to the next. Thank you. Okay, now we want to say, hey, movies.title.sort values. Is it going to sort in place, yes or no? So answer the question. Who else? No. Is it possible to use Vadur, is it possible to use movies then brackets title instead of dot notation?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see that if you say dot sort underscore values using parentheses, definitely because it's a kind of method. So it sorted parentheses, then numbers, then A all the way to Z. So this is how we sort it in ascending order, right? Okay. What if I want to have in descending order? Yes?
So we put ascending before default.
You finished assignment 3? Shame on you. Good shit. Sometimes. Yes, for sentence. Okay, so I'm just joking. So let's go to the next part. Sorting a series, you see, as Vadur said, movies using bracket notation. Bracket notation is the safest because if there is any space, if there is anything, it's not going to give you any error. And then if you say dot sort underscore values, it does the same thing. And I want you please to use type before this. Look, whenever you say type open parentheses and close parentheses, what's gonna happen? This is the pandas, this is the Python command. It's gonna show you what the type of that thing is, and it says it is a series. Right? Long story short, if you have a column and if you do the sorts, the result would be another column. Another data series. Right? Let's go to the next part. This is something that Negin said. Movies title dot sort underscore values, and if you say ascending equal to false, it's going to sort it in descending order. This is one of the questions, right?
Yeah.
Which question was? 22, okay.
So by default, interest is false.
In many cases, in places for, oh, well, I'm gonna talk about this, don't worry. Keep that question. I said there are two ways for solving that specific question, so we are gonna talk about both of them. Okay, so part of the answer, maybe. It says that sorting doesn't affect the underlying data. And if we print the series again, nothing is sorted. Right? So it just shows the sorted series, but it's not gonna impact the original data set. Now the question is it possible to save the data frame in a sorted order? That was your question, right? Kind of,
Yeah.
one of them. Look, this time, instead of starting from a series, we start from a data frame. We say movies dot, and we say sort underscore values. We pass that specific column that we want to get sorted, right? In that case, now it is sorted based on what? Based on title. You see, we started with parentheses, the numbers A, B, C, all the way to Z. Does that make sense? Now I have this question for you. If you say movies 1 equal to that, what's gonna happen? It's gonna say the sorted movies inside movies 1. If you say movies equal to movies, it's gonna replace. Did I answer your question 2 minutes ago? And that's not the only way. Be patient, I'm gonna give you another answer too, but guys, did you get this? Now we have a data set which is sorted. If you want to replace the unsorted with this sorted data set, you just say movies equal to movies. That's one of the ways. Right? And it's super clear. Did you start reading assignment 3? Almost finished it. Wow. Who else almost finished it? Is there anyone else? Not completed, but you start working on it? Okay, who else? Start working on it? Almost done. Okay, guys, I'm gonna make assignment number 4 harder then. It's not an assignment. Before I just announce it, everybody's done. So let's go to the next one. What is this? It says movies dot sorted values genre, comma, ascending equal to false. And then if we check the head, we see that nothing is sorted actually. Still, Shawshank Redemption is the first movie, not sorted. Negin, your question is answered in either of this, and don't say which question of the assignments. It's 22, 23. So one of the ways is saying movies equal to movies dot sort values genre. That's one of the ways. The other way is saying movies sort values. Then after that, say in place equal to true. So it's going to replace the data set, right, with the sorted values, with the content. The question now is, what if I want to sort it based on two columns? What I would say.
No, I just.
Okay. فکر کنم اشتباهی به تو دادم مثبت رو تا الان. Okay, so let's go to the next part. Method 1, updating data frame in place. We say in place equal to true. That's one of the things that we said. And method 2 is saying movies is equal to movies that sorted, right? Everything is clear? Let's go to this part. What if I want to sort based on two things like content rating? What is the content rating? It's approved, for example, and then duration. And the duration, as you see, it is both of them are in ascending order, A to Z, and from low to high numbers, right? Now, my question for you is, what if you want to sort the first column, which is content rating, in ascending order, and the second in descending order? What should we do? This is a bonus question, so please, and do not tell me, I'm gonna check on your monitor to give you bonus. So the good thing is number of people could, just get bonus mark. Whenever you are done, please just raise your hand. I'm gonna check on your monitor. Yes. It's on your monitor. Hey, back.
Hey, I don't have to. But I know.
ادویلت از کدوم هست؟ از این هست که ژله‌ایه؟ نمیتونم بخورم. میدونی چرا؟ ژلاتین. ارتباط. Yes, Don? Let me just check. We have two columns to sort, right? Okay, that's another way. I like it. Remember your approach. You're gonna. So this is what we call it chaining. We're going to talk about this. This is what we already talked about That is what we call a chain in each answer, but we have better solutions. Um, Anyone else? Okay, right? No. We wanted to have the first column in ascending order, the second column in descending. Right, we want to sort based on that. Wow, great results. I'm happy that I hit that. So, yes. Good job. Yeah. The other question. Flow. Is there anybody that I missed or Rodrigo? No, Diego. Almost everything. It's true, Diego. Can I speak? This is just companies, how to store the first column in ascending order and based on the second column in descending order. Excellent. Just look at the approach that's. But she used the other approach. You fix this. Okay. Good. Ryan Lee. Which words? Then only one month of England, one month of the other one. Don? Are you? Okay, your name is John. John, oh, we have another one. Don't worry. Okay. So, let's just see.
I don't have to date, is it?
It's too late. Today, let's tease. Thank you, Mahir. Okay, so look at this one. I show you in the note part. So guys, if you left behind, don't worry. I'm gonna share the PowerPoint in no time. So we have movies.sort_values, and then content rating duration. We say ascending for the first one is true, for the second one is false. So it's going to just sort this one in ascending order and the next one in descending order. Does it make sense? This is slide number 7, so give me a sec. So you have the slide, please spend 3 minutes making sure that everything is clear. Go through the slides, talking to your neighbors about the contents. Oh, the other group. Mahir, do we have it? Just, okay. And after that, we are going to have 10-minute break. So we are going to come back at 12:10. After you are done working on it for 2-3 minutes, then we are going to have 10 minutes break. Thank you.
I woke up at 7. Yeah. I got off. Yeah. But they just real fast. Yeah. So it's like. Cheese. Is there one doing this week or I think it was another week?
It's using the web scraping. It's asking when we do that, it's generating it's there's another. So it's really like a little bit. It's kind of storyline based on what. Sometimes the story is maybe separate from the main story. It's feeling like a story like this. Sometimes bad music, and then it's gonna attack you, and then it's gonna show like there, that I need that it's not. So I'm not sure how to make the story more consistent, and also I'm not sure how to at least make it simple.
Because right now is actually one solution that's there. We can download and there are some percent that's another thing. Second, I'm gonna try to do this is very good. Yes. For alternatives, because they are very useful. You can do individual yourself, yes. But instead of the alternatives, not the way, 3-4 people just work on that sequel. Okay, for the proposal, it's not that critical, and then we start to already have. Okay, still we have 2 minutes. Because I received that question again, if you want to work on any of the alternatives, the maximum number of people could be 2, and you don't need to define any proposal. Right, just for proposal, say NA, not applicable. Okay. آدم عالی پیش بره کارت. So let's continue. Before we start working on slide number 8, I just want to clarify it was completely intentional to define assignment number 3 like step by step, step 1, step 2. I could just summarize everything in one paragraph asking you, okay, do this. The intention was whenever you see any of those request questions, for instance, question number 3, show the 5 separate elements. You remember, okay, this is something that we did in every slide. Every single question that you see is relevant to one or some of the slides that we have covered. So whether you want it or not. If you don't know, you need to review the slides, and if you know the content, it's automatic reviewing of the content that we have covered so far. The next slide is one of the most essential applications of Pandas, and that is filtering. How you can filter some rows and some columns. Most of the time we have tons of unnecessary information that they just overwhelm our data set. Is it possible to filter them? Okay. As always, please fetch. Let's pull up this information. We are going to work on IMDb ratings and check the shape of IMDb ratings. It should show you 979 rows and 6 columns. Whenever you are done, please give me a signal. Awesome. Don, bravo. Marshy. Okay, now the question is, how could we filter the movies that their length is 200 or above minutes? So in other words, the duration of a movie is greater than or equal to 200. I know that most of you are familiar with this, but spend 1-2 minutes explaining and or gates to your neighbors. Okay, everything is clear. Carl? Okay, look at this one. Whenever we have AND, like we have these series of keys, we are going to have our lamp on. Only all the keys are already closed, right? So if A is correct, is closed, B is correct, and all of them, if you have 100 keys, they all should be closed, then the lamp would be on. This is what we call AND gate or AND operator. Here we have OR gate. In this case, if we have OR gate, the output would be on, the lamp would be on, if just only one of these keys are closed. In other words, the lamp is off in the case that all the keys are off. Does that make sense? So why we learned all this? Because of exactly this example. We said we are going to fetch the movies that the duration is greater than or equal to 100. Is this one greater than or equal to 100? So false. How about this? Just this one is true. This one false and false. Does that make sense? So if we can just fetch every single record, every single field, and we check that, and if it is correct, we include it. If it is not correct, we exclude it, then we get the answer. Everyone, please try this. Let's define a list of booleans, and then we check for every single element in movies of duration. If the length is greater than or equal to 100, then append true to the list, else false. Append true to the list or append false to the list. Done? Whatever done, please let me know. Okay. What is this booleans? It's a list, right? Just check the type, say type booleans. It's a list, right? The next step is checking the length of this list. It's going to tell you 979, exactly the number of rows that we have in our data set.
So is it at the column?
Oh no, it's just totally a different. It's just a list till this moment. Okay. The next step is converting that list into a data series. If you say pandas.series booleans, it's going to convert the list into a series. Does that make sense? Look, is long equal to pd.series booleans, it's going to convert the list in just a second. Sorry, I just want to see the report is fine. Share. Hopefully it's not gonna make any trouble. Anyway, so look at this one. As simple as this. you're going to use, NS, you're going to use Islam, which is nothing but a couple of bunch of truths and falses, as the mask. You say, hey, Louis data set, show those records that we have truths for it. Where do we have truths? When the duration is 200 or above. Did everybody? Is it clear? Sure. Okay, let's go to the next one. But this is quite cumbersome if you want to just go through. If you want to fetch, for instance, part of the data set, like when the genre is action, when the genre is comedy, it's going to take lots of efforts to create that loop. Isn't there any shortcut? So I asked that. It's not easy. Guys, please try this one. Instead of having all those lines, we can simply say, go to movies, duration and greater than or equal to 100. Not only this 4, but also the part that we try to convert list to series is all compressed into just that one line. Whenever you are done, please let me know. So if you see, instead of having lots of lines, we just said movies of duration greater than 0 and it shows us some falses and some truths. And we can use that as long as a mask for movies. We can say movies is long and it's gonna just show the same result. Those that they are 200 minutes or above. Yes.
There are 2 columns with trade results and you can show separately.
What do you want to do with them?
One, the way it was showing you two false. Declare more than one columns with 2 names, you can show what.
Slide number 9, PowerPoint number 9 is all that. Means when you have 2 different columns, 2 or more columns, and you want to say, for instance, those that we are above 200 minutes, and the genre is common. The combination of those. Yes. Okay, apparently it's way more convenient compared to what we had using for loop, but we can just make it even better. Like this. You simply can say, hey, show me a data set movies, those movies that their duration is greater than 200. It's like just one line. If you compare, it's like compressing 15 lines of code in just one nice, neat line. And now it's the time for you to start playing around with it. Say, okay, movies dot star rating is 9 or above. It's not a difficult question. You can just say movies dot star rating greater than. The other thing, try movies dot genre is equal crime. So I'm gonna spend 2 minutes on this slide. Please try different scenarios, talk to your neighbors. Even if you can, that would be the best if you combine, for instance, star rating above 9 and the genre is drama.
There are no movies like that. No movies like that.
You're gonna have the answer, but
Sure. I'll try. Let me check.
ذات ماست حالا خوب دارم به 8 زور. Okay. Done? How do you do that? If you have any questions, any concern, don't hesitate, ask for anything. Ron Sabrin? Okay, awesome. Sorry that I waited to. You know. So let's kick off this PowerPoint by just one bonus tip. The thing is, whatever we have here, yes, it's a kind of condition to mask a data frame, but the result of that is a new data frame. Does that make sense? So we have a condition that we applies on this mask data frame. So it's going to be a subsidiary of the original data frame. But the result, if you use type open parentheses, close parentheses, it's going to say that pandas dot data frame. It says that please note that the output of the above command is a data frame, so likely any other data frames we can access to its series using a dot notation. Remember what we use. That is the reason that we can use dot genre, or we can use, because this is exactly like a data frame, and we can use dot notation, or we can use bracket notation to access any column that we have. The safest is using bracket notation. And the last tip is, here we have the rows that we want, and the column that we want. We can just simply say, look at the previous one. In the previous one, if you do not say genre, it shows the whole data frame. Then you can say, hey, among the whole columns that we have, I just want genre. In the next one, I want you to spend a few seconds, talk to your neighbors. Which one is the best? Using long or using one data frame and then dot genre? And why? Guys, if I want to ask any question to check someone, if that person knows data science, I ask this question: which one is the best? This command or this command? And simply why? If you want to get a snapshot or something, or let me just send you this is a slide number 8. Now you have it. Okay, yes.
This one is better way because it's faster.
Why it is faster?
Because in the previous one, first you have to get the good version and then you have to get done. But here we directly do everything in one way.
Close, close enough to get one bonus. Yes,
Location is better, it's more efficient because it focuses mostly more on working on rows and columns, and also it's better with indexing.
any other opinion? Look at the previous one. Here it is. And this one. Okay. Look, whenever we have these movies, then we say go and select those that the duration is greater than 200. Then we chain it. Guys, it's like chain. First, we have movies, the all that. Second, you're going to fetch just those rows that the duration is greater than 200. It's the second part. Then we chain it to the last part, which is showing only the genre. It means that first, the whole data frame, second step, those that they are, the duration is greater than 200, and then we are going to fetch the last 3 steps jobs. And the problem is, imagine that for some reasons, like you try to fetch it from a database or a data set that already blocked by somebody. It's not going to go to the next step unless that you unlock that previous step. So it is kind of sequential, 1, 2, 3. The next one, look at it. In the next one, we have just 2 steps. We have the overall data set. We check those rows that the duration is greater than 200 and only one column. This step happens in one shot. So these are 2 steps. We are going to have one complete PowerPoint to talk about lock and iLock. Very powerful. Okay, now you have the slide. Please spend 2-3 minutes. Go through actually this one is quite complex. Spend 3-4 minutes talking to your neighbors. Go through it and see if you have any concern. Done. So meanwhile that you are trying to review this, which is quite important. Let me just stop sharing and stop the camera. And unshare the screen here as well. So I quickly read the names. Oopsie. Abhishek. Adina. Bernil. Carl is here. Casey is here. Diego is here. Enes is here. Ivan.
Here.
Rob. Oh, he told me this. Harlan is here. Harsh. Harsh. UI is here. Hyun. Yana. Or Lana. Sorry, just a second. Yana. Okay. James is here. Yep. John is here. Josephine is here. Carl. Carl with K, right? Adija is here. Hidus. Koichi. Kushal. Lucas is not here. Anybody knows? Any news from Lucas? Harlan, do you have any opinion, any idea? Lucas, is he good? Everything is fine with him? Sorry? It's 2 sessions that he always come to the class, so that's why my concern is just if everything is fine with him. Okay, Maharshi is here. Mahshad is not here. Mahyar here. Mark. Matthew is here. Mega is not here. Meha is not here too. Muhammad Tala is not here too. Mustafa Ismail. Nanami. Nanami, after the class, please just stay for 30 seconds. Nigin is here. Pavan is here. Pavan. Or I'm gonna just come and talk to you right now. Peter is here. Rolling is here. Richard Wilson. Harlan, do you have any history with Richard? Always you say he's not here, even if I missed. Okay, so RJ Rose. Okay. So Ryan Yu is here. Sabrine is here. Shada is not here.
She might not be-
Sorry.
she might be there.
Okay, I'm gonna update the marks. Stefan is not here today. Tafawad, I forgot it. Marisa is not here. Taika Ibu is, yes. Takami is here. Vincent is, yeah, you came. Yang is here and Eva is here too. So can you please check your attendance and see if there is any issue, any problem? I need to check the other group as well. Just give me a second. One and one. Okay, Rachel and Badur, but you should be able to see your marks now. Anybody from other classes? Okay. Chloe, can you please check if your attendance is correct?
I'm gonna put an assignment 3 so that the lab. As well with that.
No. No. When it rains, it guys, honestly, I didn't feel good at all for today. If I had any chance, I should stay at home. But right now it's like, okay, 0, 0, 1. میتونی یه کاری بکنی ببخشید میتونی بیای جای من تو اینا رو چیز کنی بهت میگم ولش کن مرسی 1 1 1 1 don't worry بخاطر اینکه نمره بشناس ممکنه بگم نه درستش میکنم یه زدم رفت One, 0, 1, 0, 1. One, 1, 1. 0, 1, 1, 1. 0, 0. When it rains, it pours. Okay, so I'm coming in no time. So if you just wait, don't worry. If you just wait for a couple of seconds. You are Chloe, right? I'm gonna just check just. Okay, would you please just everybody refresh your page and double check? No, just wait here. Now everything is. I saw that why all the marks turned to yellowish. I was like, why? So what is the group that you originally group 2? So let me just save this one. Go to you. I think that I made that change in advance, but let's just see the grades. So Chloe. Chloe, I gave you mark.
But lab A, there's no marks there.
Oh, for lab 8? Okay, no worries. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. Hopefully. Yeah, let me just double save to make sure. So let's go to the next question, next set of slides. And before that, I need to share the screen here. And also share the screen here too. Okay. Slide number 9 is about the question that I received from one of the team members. I don't know, was it you who asked or Negin who asked, what if you have multiple and it's multiple columns or criteria that we want to apply? So let's see. True, but the problem is that's kind of general and common problem. People get confused when it comes to using and or ampersand instead of and. Where should we use this one? Where should we use that one? Please pull up a data set, IMDb ratings, and check the shape. And if everything is okay, let's go to the next. You remember that we checked before, if you want to show that part of data set, those rows, which the duration is greater than or equal to 100. For doing that, I know that everybody did, but please, once again, just write this line, and whenever you are done, give me a signal. Merci, bravo. Okay. And the next question is, what if we want to see the movies that their duration is greater than or equal to 200 minutes? And the genre is drama as well. In that case, well, I know that everybody knows, but try this. True or true is true. False or false is false. False or true is true. So just try a few of them. And whenever you are done, ask your team member or explain to your team member when we use or and when we use bar sign for or, when we use and when we use ampersand for and. Explain it to your team member. Done? Okay. And now is the time that we use more than one condition. We say the duration is greater than 200 and the genre is drama. You can simply say dot shape at the end and it should tell you 3, I don't know how many, 6 or something. Right? Did you check? 3, 6. You say shape, dot shape at the end. Yeah, 3 and 6. Awesome. Okay, the answer to this question that when we use and when we use ampersand, whenever we have series or list of items, we use ampersand. If you are talking about one entity, we use AND for and. Right? Okay, let's go to the next one. What if instead of and you say or? What's going to be the result?
All the movies that are like more than 200 minutes and also. it's going to-
Or the movies that the genre is drama. Yes, absolutely right. Look at this one. For instance, the first one is 200 or above, but the genre is not drama, it is crime. But because one of two conditions, if one of two conditions is true, we are gonna pick that one, it is or. How about the second one? The second one is just 96 minutes, not 200 or above. But because the genre is drama, we accept it. The third one is 201, but it's adventure. So you see the difference, and if you just check the shape at the end, it shows 287 rows, either above 200 and the genre is, or the genre is drama, right? Does that make sense? Okay, let's go to the next one, and that's a tip for these set of slides. Imagine that you want to check, you want to see the movies that they are either criminal, about the crime, drama, or action. So one of the ways is saying movies genre is equal crime, and again you have to repeat everything, say equal to drama, and again everything equal to action. Although it works, it's not the best. Look at the next one, please. Here we simply can use a method called is in. We say movies genre dot is in crime, drama, or action genre. Does that make sense? Just compare this one, the length of this one with the original one. I'm sorry. With this one. Super concise and economic. By saying that, we are done with this set of slides. I think that I didn't upload this one yet. Did I? No. I'm going to do something else too. You see the first 10 PowerPoints. I'm going to upload the commands guys, above 80% of the things that I asked you to do, you can find similar samples and examples in this PowerPoint. They are based, and the good thing is, look at here, we have 0.5 Panda, so it is PowerPoint number 5. This is PowerPoint number 6, 7. So I just use, and simply you can just say 07, for example, and it goes to the beginning of PowerPoint, the codes for PowerPoint number 7. I'm going to upload this one at the end of the class because we still have one more thing. Did I close unintentionally? I guess I closed. That's it. So please download this file number 9. Spend 2-3 minutes talking to your neighbors. And if there's any concern, any question, please let me know. یا قرمزی آبی قرمزی آبی میگم قرمزی آبی قرمز پرسپولیسی است چی؟ خب یک یک کردم همه تیم سرما خورده بود شما راحت باشید بحث پسرون نیست یعنی آخه آبرومون رفت ترس چیز نباشی فوتبالی نباشی چجور کی حکم کدومش پرسپولیس کجاش نه ببین بازیکناش آره بازیکن مثلا آره مهدی جان ببین یه چیزی حالا منتظرم چیز میشه ببین من واقعا یه دید کلی دارم که شخصی حق داره اکت سیاسی داشته باشه من با مهدی جان مشکل ندارم دوست دارم اجباری بشه مشکل سر اینه که چرا وریا غفوری نمیتونه میدونی یعنی هر کسی حق داره اون نظرشه ولی برای ما به خاطر این بعد میشه که مثلا اون تشویق میشه عوضش مهدی محبوب میشه. Okay, so guys, everything is fine. Let's go to the last set of questions. Actually, this one contains 4 fundamental questions that we are going to use in assignments. The good thing about this one is we don't just answer one question. 10. Slide number 10 is about answering 5, sorry, not 4, 5 fundamental questions. The first question is, what if we want to read only 2 columns from the data set to create our data frame? What is the use case for such question. Imagine that you have 500 different columns, and if you fetch all of them, it's gonna be quite cumbersome. Is there any way that you can just fetch 2 columns out of hundreds of columns because you're gonna work with just those 2? To answer this question, let's just work with one of these 2 examples. Please fetch the CSV file that you have in view for reports and check the columns by saying view for the columns. Done. Okay. The other thing is using command number 4. If you say use calls equal to city and say it's going to fetch only those 2 columns. So we got the answer to our question. If you say use calls, you can just pick those columns that you want and not all of them. Okay. Yes.
If they call it like that in the beginning, so if they want to access another column, we have to delete that part.
We have to just use, for instance, view for 1. We need to create view for 2. And
So if you want to give them access to the columns.
yes, not more. True. And if you say view for the columns, it's gonna just show you those 2 columns that you have chosen. And is it possible to use indices instead of saying the column headers? Yes. If you say 0 is the first column, city, and index 3, which is for states.
Can we use like -1 to access the last one?
I haven't tried that. It should, but let's try. How about this? The other question is, what if the same scenario? What if we have hundreds of thousands of rows in our data set and we just want to test our model, our machine learning model, for example, on 10, 20. To see if it works, then we are gonna download the rest of the data set. For doing so, we say n rows or number of rows equal to 3. In that case, we just fetch the first 3 rows and not anymore. Does that make sense? Okay. How about the next one? The next question is, how can we iterate through a data frame and series? So how can we go from one row to the next, to the next, to the next, and for instance, print one of the. For doing so, let's again fetch view for reports and say for every single C, or for instance, city or C1, whatever, in view for that city, print C. This is how you can iterate. Right? Right. Okay. Look at this one. We have something. It's part of the data frame called iter rows, which is nothing but iterating or iteration over rows. So that method has two major components. One of them is index, and the other one is row. So you can simply say print index, which is going to be 0, 1, and row dot sig and row dot state. Based on the structure of Python and NumPy and pandas, we rarely need to use for to iterate. You remember the example that we had, the duration above 200. The way that we solved it at the beginning was using for, but later we understood we can use it without using for. Most of the time we don't need, but if we need for any reason, there are enough tools for us to work with. The most important one is iter rows. Please fetch another data frame, and that is Greeks by country. We fetch data frame that data frame to answer this question: what is the best way to draw every non-numerical or numeric columns from our data frame? There are occasions that you want to do some statistical analysis and you don't need to have those strings or object columns. In this data set, if you say Greens.type, it shows that country and continents, they are objects, while the rest of them are integers or floats. Floating, right? The question for us is it possible to get rid of those unwanted object columns? To answer that question, look at this one. We say drinks.select data types include numpy.numbers, a number. Is it possible to use anything but numpy? Yes, but it's going to be complicated. The best is to import numpy and then say, among the data types that we want those which are numerical. Please run this line without D types. See what's going to happen. Megan, if you just run this without D types, it's going to show which table? Is it going to contain country and continent? Excellent, Peter. Merci. Whoever could finish, please give me a signal. I can go to the next. Thank you. See? The next one, if you say drinks.describe, the question for that, let me just see what question it is. It's question 5. This is the last question. The question asks, where should we use brackets and where shouldn't we? This is quite simple. Actually, nobody knows. We go to the help and see. For instance, look at this one. If I say, it says simply click inside the parentheses and press Shift Enter, but this is for old-fashioned Jupyter format, not Colab. For Colab, you simply need to go to Help, and then it's gonna show you include, and we have either all or it says list like of data types. Guys, this is important. List like. Whenever we say list like means brackets. Do you see list like? So that is why if we want to include all, there is no need for brackets here. But whenever we want to take sometimes it says list like, and that is why we say, okay, how about having objects and float 64? Right? And you may say, what if you just have objects? In that case, the same way. It's going to be a list of one element. Everything is done. Okay, by saying that, both groups, now you have, I'm sorry. Please confirm that you can see slide number 10. And apart from it, thank you. Apart from it, the Colab that I promised to upload. Sorry. Should be there too. Please just check if you can. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I stop recording the session, but it doesn't mean that we are done. Stop recording.